Hello students, so today we are doing chapter 4 of light energy class 7. So this chapter is basically about what is light, what is reflection, and you will learn about reflection on a plane mirror and all of that. If you haven't watched the video on chapter 3 light energy, then you should chapter 3 energy, then you should go and watch that video. In that video you will learn about what is energy, what are the different forms of energy, and then we come to know about light energy. And here in this chapter we will learn in detail about light energy, light rays, how light works, and various interesting questions that we will be solving over here. So light energy, my first basic question is, what is light? What is basically light? Okay, so light, if you know the answer, comment down below. Light is a form of energy. You can write it down. Light is a form of energy. Light is a form of energy, and that's just it. This is all that you need to know right now. Also, one more thing, keep in mind, you will always find light will travel in the form of rays. So these are light rays. Okay. For now, for your standard, just keep this in mind that light always travels in the form of rays, and later on you will learn that light has wave-like characteristics or particle-like characteristics in senior classes. But right now you don't need to focus over there. Just pay attention that light travels in the form of rays. Okay. Just keep this in mind. Don't forget it. Write it down. Okay. Take out your copies, notebooks, pencils, whatever, pen, whatever you have got. Take them out. Take down the notes. Very important. Now, so my question was, what is light? And the answer is basically light is a form of energy. So what form of energy? There are various forms of energy. Okay, heat is a form of energy. Something that is moving, that also has some kind of energy, kinetic energy or potential energy. Now light is also a form of energy. So what makes light different from other forms of energy? Write this question. What makes light different from other forms of energy? I would really love to know the answer of this question in the comment section down below. If any one of you know the answer, just comment down below. Even the proper answer will be given out. If you give whatever answer you give, it doesn't matter. Your answer could be wrong, could be right, it doesn't matter. Whatever answer you give, I will post the right answer to you, and I will reply to each and every comment. Don't worry about it. Let's just focus over here. So light is a form of energy, and we are going to be discussing about various characteristics of light. So basically, if you don't have light in your surrounding, you're unable to see things. Just imagine, in a dark room where there is no light bulb and the room is totally closed from all four sides, or I should say the five sides, because the top will also be closed. The room is totally closed and you do not have any source of light. No light bulbs, no mobile phones, nothing at all. The room is airtight sealed. Okay, so you don't have anything, any source of light. So the room will eventually be dark. We all know about it, and you won't be able to see. So light has a property. It helps you to see. Well, you know that. But how? How does light helps us to see? What makes us see things? Well, basically light makes us see things, but definitely light must have some characteristics that when it goes inside our eyes, it gives some signals, or it does something with our eyes, or whatever it does. You don't need to read about it. It is given it's in the biology section. But whatever it does, that helps us look at objects, see this world. So if you don't have light, you're unable to see the world. Now that's a problem. How a problem? You all know that. Now, light has various characteristics, as I said. And one of the characteristics of light is both reflected and refracted. So currently we will be just discussing about reflection of light. Okay, so reflection of light, no refraction. Refraction of light will be there in higher classes, in class I guess 8 or 9. I don't know exactly, I don't remember exactly. I guess it was class 9. So in class 9 you will find refraction of light, but right now you don't need to worry about that. Reflection of light, where do you find the reflection of light? You find it in polished surfaces, on polished surfaces. So one of the examples of polished surface, very common example, is your mirror. The mirror that you use to look yourself, the mirror that you use every single day. That mirror shows you one of the properties of light, and that is reflection of light. You also find reflection of light on other polished surfaces. Suppose a polished car or a polished bike. You find reflection of light over there too. So, reflection of light, you find it in various places, okay, in your surrounding. Have you ever wondered how a mirror that is made up of glass can show you the image, or I should say the reflection of this world, and you see, means whenever you see yourself in the mirror, what do you find? You find yourself to be there is a copy of yours, there is a virtual image of yours in the mirror that acts just as you act. So there is something happening inside of the mirror, and you know who is responsible for that? Light is responsible for that, totally light. So if light is not there, you will not see any kind of reflection, you will not see any kind of images formed, and also you will not have any kind of hallucinations. So right now, reflection of light. So let me give you an example. Suppose this is a mirror, okay? Whenever we draw the image of a mirror, we draw it like this. This side is known as the rough surface. This is the back side of the mirror. Whereas this side, where there is no such lines drawn, is called the polished surface. Where you basically find your reflection. You see your own reflection over here. So how reflection occurs? Pay attention over this side. So take this mirror. Just have to erase this portion a little bit. Okay, so this is the mirror, this is the rough side, this is the polished surface. Okay, now suppose a ray of light this is a ray of light that's falling on the mirror with an angle. So it is falling on the mirror at an angle, at a proper angle. This is, suppose this is the angle, okay? It will get reflected back. Sorry. So it will get reflected back at a certain angle. Let us call this ray as A and this as B, and let us call this common point of intersection as O. Remember what I'm saying. Common point of intersection A, B, keep these in mind. Don't forget it. If required, take down notes. Okay. Now draw a straight line. Although my line might not look straight, but please draw a straight line. Okay. Straight line, and I guess I've drawn a lot slanty this one. So let me draw it again. Please go straight. Okay, done. Now, pay attention. Draw a straight line that falls upon O. Straight to O. Take this line as N. Done. And what will I say is that this line, this ray of light is falling on the mirror, so I call this ray as incident ray. So A is incident ray and B is the ray that is reflected, so I am going to call B as reflected ray. Reflected ray. Write it down. A is the incident ray, B is the reflected ray. And this N is called normal. Okay, N is known as normal. This angle that is formed between incident ray and normal is called angle of incidence and is represented by I. I write I like this. You will find in your books also I has been written like this. Not with so much of style, but yeah. And this angle between the reflected ray and the normal is called angle of reflection. So I is the angle of incidence and R, angle R, is the angle of reflection. Now note down these points. These are very important. So this is angle of reflection, this is angle of incidence, angle of reflection, angle of incidence, normal, polished surface, rough surface, it's given over here. Write it down. Right, what are you waiting for? Write it down. I'm waiting. Just do it. Take down notes fast. So now we will do now we'll learn about the laws of reflection. So there are certain laws, okay, that govern reflection. Reflection doesn't occur by just a merry fluctuation. It's not just a fluctuation in the nature. There are some laws which define reflection properly. You need to know those laws, okay? So just for as before we had the diagram, we are again drawing it, okay? So we have the same diagram, we have A, we have B. A is the angle of incidence, B is the angle of reflection. Always keep in mind, whenever you draw a ray diagram, whenever, it doesn't matter, whenever you draw a ray diagram, do not forget to give the arrows. If you forget to give the arrows, your whole diagram is wrong. So don't forget arrows. Arrows are very important, like just like the diagram that we drew a minute earlier, I guess. We have the same diagram over here. We have angle of incidence, that is A, ray of incidence, that is A, and ray of reflection, that is B. This is incident ray, this is reflected ray, this is angle of incidence I, angle of reflection R, this is the normal. Normal is 90 degree, okay? So normal is always perpendicular to, so suppose let's take this P, this point as, this position as P and this position as Q. So N means normal is always perpendicular to PQ. Here PQ is the mirror, so normal is always perpendicular to the mirror, a plane mirror. Here in this case we have a plane mirror. In other types of mirrors, curved mirrors, things are different. You are not reading about that. So normal is always perpendicular to PQ, and you have to keep this in mind that A, that is incident ray and reflected ray, both can have different angles. So incident ray and reflected ray can be both 90 degrees. So means if the incident ray is the normal is the incident ray. So if the, suppose this is the mirror and this is the incident ray, which is totally 90 degree, then the reflected ray will also be 90 degrees. So if anything passes totally straight from the normal, it will pass back, will get reflected back in the same line, in the same direction. So only when it is passing through normal. But if the ray of light is not passing through normal, that means it is not perpendicular to the mirror, that ray will reflect at a particular angle. Now we need to know about the laws of reflection. The first law of reflection says that angle of incidence is equal to angle of reflection. I is equals to R. So angle I is always equals to angle R. It doesn't matter if the A is like this, or if A is falling like this, or if A is falling like this. Whatever will be the angle of incidence, same will be the angle of reflection. This is first law. Second law is angle of incidence, angle of reflection, angle of incidence, angle of reflection, normal, the incident ray and reflected ray. I'm writing it. Incident ray and reflected ray. All of these means all of these along with all of these. All of these lie on the same plane. Plane means this is the mirror. So the mirror is the plane over here, not the flying plane. This is the mirror, so mirror is the plane. And in that mirror, the angle of incidence, angle of reflection, incident ray, reflected ray, normal, all of these lie on the same plane. Means if here is the angle of, here is the incident ray, the reflected ray will also be on the same mirror. So if here is the incident ray, it doesn't mean that the reflected ray will be on some other mirror or some other mirror in some other country. It doesn't happen. You never see those things in real life. So in whatever mirror you drop the angle of incidence or the incident ray, in the same mirror you get the reflected ray. Okay, you don't get reflected ray on other parts of the mirror, in the same point. And this position where all of these come together, this is the intersection position, or the position where all of the rays meet, or I should say the incident ray, the incident ray at this point gets reflected. Okay, you can say that. Now after all of these, write it down. What can I say more? Just write it down. This is all you have to do as a student, and we as a teacher have to teach you. Well, life is pretty interesting, Sometimes when you have students in front of you, you are very irritated. And sometimes when you don't have any student in front of you, you're looking in front of the camera and just teaching someone out there in the world. Pretty weird feeling, Speaking in front of the camera, you don't know who is listening to you, who might be listening to you, or how many people would have watched your video. Oh my god. Let's focus on here. Okay, so now we will see two types of reflection. Okay, so both are different and both are interrelated. In both the cases, the object will be different, not the mirror, nor the angle of incidence or anything like that. There will be two different cases for the object, and we will find out how these two cases are different from each other and where you will find all of these cases. The second case will be more important than the first one, but let's learn about the first one. So when the object is a point, okay, so suppose this is the mirror is not straight, but suppose it is straight. Okay, in physics we always do this. Suppose the mirror, wait, it is definitely not straight. Let me make this straight. Okay, this is not yet straight. Now I'm getting frustrated. This, come on, this is what I will do. Very good. Nothing can be more straight than this. How straight this one is. Really straight. So suppose this is the mirror. Okay, and here is an object, but in this case the object is a point object. Okay, and here you are, this is your eye, a very pretty eye. Come on board, stay quiet. So this is an eye that you have, very pretty eye, and I guess I'm not able to draw the eye. This is your eye, isn't it? It looks pretty much like an eye. Yes, now it looks eye. Okay, so here is the object. Let's call it O. Stand straight. So let's call it O. Here is your object, and there will be a ray. Okay, suppose a ray is passing. This is the incident ray, and in the same way there will be a reflected ray. Okay, so just in that manner there will be many different incident rays passing. Okay, so this diagram shows how you are able to see things in a mirror. So suppose this is the point object. Let's make it bigger. This is the point object. Now it doesn't look like a point, it looks like a bindi object, but whatever. This is your point object. Here all of the rays are going, and you are seeing all of the rays coming over here. What you do is you extend these lines. You extend these lines backward. Okay. When you do that, let me so when you extend these lines in the mirror, in your own diagram, my lines are definitely not straight, but this diagram is given in your book in a lot better way. So you go and find out in the book, that will be a lot better, or you can take your scale and draw. That will be really good. I will be showing up a picture of that. You can see it over here in the side. I guess you're getting an idea. Okay, so I'm trying to draw kind of like that, but it's a board. That's the paper. Things are different. Whatever. So here is the O object, and this is O dash. O is the actual object, and O dash is the virtual image. Virtual image of what? Of O. So O dash is the virtual image of O. So this is how you are able to see the object. You are here, this is the image, and that's how you see an image inside of a mirror. Now the second case, when the object has a height. Now suppose if I have an object that has a particular height, things will be a little different, means the diagram will be a little different. See how will be the diagram. So let us draw using the duster our really good looking mirror. So this is our mirror. Okay, and let's draw at the normal. You know what is normal? I've already taught that. So normal. So this is our mirror, this is the normal. Okay, and suppose there is an object standing right over here. So this object has some particular height. What this line is also known as principal axis, but it is not given in your book, so you don't have to worry about it. Just take it this line as normal. So there will be two things happening over here. There will be one ray of light that will be passing really straight to this. This ray of light will be parallel to the normal, or we don't say it normal, we say it principal axis. So there will be a line that will be parallel. So what I said, this line which is parallel to this line which is normal or principal axis, so this line is striking the mirror at what angle? At 90 degree. And what did I say? Anything that strikes the mirror at 90 degree will pass through the same direction. So it will get reflected back in the same direction. Now take another ray take another ray and put it over here on the edge or on the point where every ray meets, whatever I said. We call it pole. This point is known as pole. It's not given in your book, in your ICSE book. At least I have not seen it. But this position is called pole, and this is your object. So this is again another incident ray. So it will also get reflected back with the same angle. This angle and this angle will be equal. This is incident and this is so angle I is equals to angle R. You all know that. I don't have to repeat it again and again. Done. Now, how the image is formed. Pay attention. Extend these lines. Extend these lines and extend this line. This is the reflected ray. Extend this line. Always keep in mind, you will extend only the reflected ray, not the incident ray. The point at which these lines meet, that point you will find the image has been formed. So if this image is O, object is O dash, O, then this object, the image that is formed is O dash. If this is the distance, means the distance between the object and the pole is suppose U, this distance, this whole distance is U, then suppose this distance is V, means from here to here, this is V, then U is equals to V. U is object distance, and V is image distance. Okay, so U is object distance, V is image distance. Distance from pole to the object and from pole to the image, that is always equal. O and O dash are identical, means they look the same. When you look yourself in the mirror, the image that you see is just the same as what you are. So you don't see anyone different over there. If you are seeing someone different, now you should be worried, actually horrified. But we don't see it. So O and O dash are always identical, but they are laterally displaced. What does laterally displaced means? What is lateral displacement? Simply, your left will occur as right on the mirror and your right will occur as left inside of the mirror. The image that you will see will be laterally displaced, means if this side will occur as this side, means your left will be right and your right will be left. My right, left, I'm confused. Don't pay attention to that. Okay, done. This is what the second one is, when the object has a particular height. And this is very important, because whatever that you are learning from now, this will continue even in class 11, 12, even in your college. Everywhere you will continue with this diagram, not with this kind of diagram. Although you will find this diagram in many other books, and definitely this is a very beginner's diagram to understand how you are able to see an object. But that is very important. Draw these diagrams, please. And I need to use some double-sided tapes for this board, because definitely it's not staying quite. Done. Okay, so I'm done with the part 1 of the video. As far as I remember, I don't have the book right now. That is why I'm making 2 parts. One is the part 1, and then I will making the part 2 video, because I don't have the book. I have to get the book, and if I have to see if I have missed any important things in the chapter, then I will make another part. But if I don't, then I won't be making. So this is the part 1 of the video. In the part 2 of the video, I will be discussing some important points, some main questions, and also giving you some I will be giving you some work to do that you can take as homework, and you can submit it on my Instagram, on my Twitter handle, or you can go to ROCFT Facebook page. It will be given in the link description down below. You can go there. You can submit your homework over there too. I'll be checking those homeworks and I will be giving you grades over there. Isn't it nice, to have a teacher online who will be judging you for your whatever you're studying? Judging you, that doesn't sound good. But so I have a news for you all. You all might have been wondering, why am I being very inconsistent with my videos and I have not uploaded any video for a very long time. And yes, that's true, I have not uploaded any videos. Specs are totally changed. The face is looking very different, so I have a reason for that. It's been almost 23 days, and just a few days ago my father passed away, and he is no more with us. It's really sad, but I don't have much to say about it. So yeah, this is the reason why I was not able to make videos. I was quite busy in the household doing things that I should do, and I didn't have any time to make videos at all, and I was not, my mental situation was also not really good at that point. So it's been almost 23 days, and hopefully he lives in peace in the heaven. We all pray for that. I pray for that too, definitely. And I want to say something to you all. Look, my friends, take care of your parents. Take care of them. Today they are with you, but someday they won't be with you, and you might regret that moment. So be with your parents. Listen to them. Try to do as they say, and never break their hearts. Never ever break their hearts. I'm getting emotional. I don't want to get emotional in front of camera. That really sounds very stupid, getting emotional in front of camera. But yeah, no one lasts forever in this world. Even I have to die one day. So in case if you're curious about it, my father was actually suffering from lungs cancer. Lungs tumor. And we all knew that he's going to be with us for just a few days. So we came to know about the lungs tumor during April, and he passed away on October, 10th October, at 9:50 p.m. So yeah, he was a big inspiration for me in my life, and yeah, I just sorry. Okay, so we won't be continuing with this. I'm not here to share my emotional things on YouTube and gain viewers for that. I just don't want that to happen. I'm just sharing this with you all because you are my subscribers, and I do share some things about my personal life. So definitely, this is what I'm sharing with you, every one of you, just as a record, because sometimes in the future you definitely would love to see these videos, love to see what I'm going through, and one day when someone will be looking at it in the future, this video, and will be thinking, hey, he also went through the same thing. Why am I stuck? I can also move on. Thank you for watching the video. See you in the next video. Thank you. Bye-bye.